Well, hello again, and this time it's for real. I'm round the back of Hubbards Hills and we're going to go out on a little wander towards Raithby and Whitthall on a quite glorious day for walking. I can't think that there's too many things I've overlooked, but no doubt something will go wrong sometime along the way. Do you know, I don't think we really need that very much, do you? There, that's much better. You can see my beautiful face. Seriously, it is a lovely, lovely day, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get some pictures and basically put together a little sort of memory type thing for this walk. I've done it a few times. I should think we've probably done parts of it going the other way round. Oddly enough, I hadn't realised that when we're starting this walk, we are quite close to the bypass, which means you may be able to hear in the background vehicles. Never really thought about that, but I do like the idea of getting some pictures walking along this path. And if I'm not mistaken, all that gravel is new. This was a very muddy path at one time. This, my very good friend, is what walking in the Lincolnshire Wolds is actually all about. A beautiful day, lovely and dry, warm but not too hot. Just a gentle breeze in actual fact, which is very nice. We're about, would you believe, halfway towards Raithby. And that path there, with the lake beyond, will take you basically up towards Hallington. What a beautiful day. And I won't spoil it by putting any pictures of me in today. Looking down here towards Raithby, we should be able to really see the church in front of us, but it's hidden behind trees. The way forward is down to that house, that little white house, and we'll turn right there to go through a field right on the edge of the village. Should maybe mention here, by the way, that one of the things which interests me is just why are the Lincolnshire Wolds so attractive? They're hardly what you call the most dramatic landscape in the world, but there's something here which intrigues me. Here we are in the field just before Raithby, and I'm looking towards the dreaded muddy field from a few years ago, a couple of years ago, where I got stuck and very, very wet. Today it looks like it's wheat growing in there, and so you could actually walk it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick to the road. Yeah, funny little bit of sort of meadow pasture just before you come into Raithby, with a rather strange looking brick thing, which I've often wondered what on earth is that. Oddly enough, the church is now straight before us, but we still can't quite see it because of the trees. It is fairly well hidden away, but we're going to go and have a good look at it. Do you know, I think we'll have a nice little picture of me. I'm at Raithby Church and I've just had a wander round inside, and I'm now sat on a bench in the graveyard just outside. I know I keep on saying how lovely a day it is, but it really is. It's time to sort of like sit down and think, why on earth wasn't I doing this years ago? Getting about as far as we get away from Louth now, and we haven't come very far. Looking over to the west there, that's the middle of the English Wolds. Looking towards Belmont, if we come round this way, we're looking towards Donington on Bain. If we look over here, we're going to the north of Louth, and as we go back over here, we're looking back towards Hubbards Hills, really. Just going to stop on this house in front of us, which I know very well. Just to the side there is where I sat on a bench after getting stuck in the mud. Think of this as the road to Donington. Looking east towards Louth, and I'll soon be going across that big field there. And there we are, going up towards Donington, a road I've travelled many, many times. Many, many times. Today, it's a quiet backwater country road. Exactly as we like them to be. Well, I'm afraid we're going to have to do some voiceover commentary here. Although it's a lovely day and the wind isn't that strong, you have to remember that we've come up quite a long way from Hallington. I bet we've come up 100 feet plus, and so the wind is just that little bit, well, it interferes with the sound, shall we say. There's the lovely long straight path which would take us across that field I mentioned, past those trees and down towards Hubbards Hills. Sometimes, you know, when we think about what walking on a Friday and walking in the wolds is really all about, I suppose I think of little footpaths like this on a field edge. A field edge path heading over into the distance there. Can you see the field of rape? That's just this side of the bypass. And as I say, that's South Lincolnshire over there. Anyway, back to my footpath. Oops. Okay, so we've got this final screen for the walk I did some time ago, out in the sort of Hallington, Donington Road, Hubbards Hills sort of area, around the back of Hubbards Hills. A lovely walk, done a few times, about 4 miles altogether, give or take a few yards. But lots of different looks around the Lincolnshire wolds and lots of different views. Very easy going. I would suspect that in the winter the first footpath, which has now been gravelled and looks very nice, during the winter I remember that can be quite muddy. And in actual fact the whole road, the whole sort of path before you get into Raithby is a little bit dicey at times in the winter. But, you know, you win some, you lose some. It's such a lovely walk that it's probably worth doing. Nice walk along the road, without doubt one of the nicest walks we ever do. One of the nicest walks from Raithby up towards Hallington, then out on the Donington Road and up that first hill before you come to the signpost which leads you to the right. It's quite an uphill climb, but nothing too serious, goodness gracious me. And it's a lovely walk. That road is just such a lovely walk, all the way from Raithby all the way up to that signpost is just a little bit of a gem of a walk. Winter or summer for that matter, because you can do it on the road, or you can go through the famous field if you want to. But I probably won't be going up there many more times. Got to remember, by the way, that you never get very far away from the centre of Louth. You're only ever a couple of miles at the very, very most from, you know, sort of St James's Church. So you never get very far away from Louth. But the good thing is you always seem as if you're out in the wilds, you know, as if you're out in the sort of depths of the Lincolnshire wolds. Raithby, of course, is a gem in itself, and the church, it's just one of those lovely, lovely Lincolnshire villages. If you can call it a village, it's really only a few houses, but still it's just got that lovely feel about it. Whether you do this walk in the winter or in the summer is depending on how you feel, but I suspect that it's best avoided in really, really wet weather or after wet weather, because, as I say, that path from the back of Hubbards Hills to Raithby isn't brilliant in the when the elements get to work on it. Anyway, what do I reckon? It's a little gem of a walk, and for 4 miles, if you wanted 4 miles at any time, then you would do it, and it's not very far away. It's only probably a mile up. The start of it is only probably a mile away from where I sit right now. Anyway, no doubt I'll be back there again. Cheers, folks.